This show contains profanity, advice you should never follow, humor that you might not enjoy. The names have been changed to protect the guilty. Do not try this at home.
Greetings, Yellow Blazers, Blue Blazers, Bill Bryson lovers, Bill Bryson haters, Trail Days attendees. And, well, there's no one else here to tell me what to say next, so my name is Pox Holiday, and sitting about 300 miles to my east is Miss Puss in Boots, and welcome to the Trail Days edition of the Pox and Puss podcast. We were lucky enough to be set up next to MoJoe's Coffeehouse and Sundog Outfitters, which is a parking lot where all the hikers gather to start the parade through Damascus. So the early morning, you hear the people kind of getting there, coming up to the coffee house, kind of shaking the cobwebs out, getting their coffee for the day. Then it kind of dies down a little bit. The crowd noise dies down, and then the latecomers start to pop out. And then next thing you know, people are coming in to get their free hot dog before the parade. The crowd gathers. A Queen song is sung at one point in time, not by us, but it was a great location. Every single Thru-Hiker saw our booth and wondered what those two people were doing with pictures of dinosaurs on t-shirts and why were there microphones. But it was great to be out there and to see everyone. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. I think everybody knows what happened at Trail Days during the parade, that the car went through and hit a bunch of hikers. And we didn't interview people after the incident. All the interviews you're going to hear happened before. We definitely thought about interviewing people, but it just didn't feel right. And we just really want people to enjoy the fun side of Trail Days. Puss and I will be taking a week off next week, but the following week we're going to come back with another episode. I'm sure that once we get together and have a chance to talk in front of the mics, you guys will hear some other Trail Days stories. I was in the parade when it happened. Puss was holding down the booth, but when it happened, she ran down to see what she could do to help. And it was a very confusing time. But everyone that we interviewed that you're going to hear on the podcast, we were all in the parade. Some folks were very close to what happened, and we'll explain that as we go along. But okay, enough of the melancholy. Really excited about our first guest that we had on. Chipmunk is a 14-year-old girl who is attempting to become the youngest person to solo thru-hike the Appalachian Trail. She was awesome, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it. Okay, here she is.
That looks like the coolest hairband. Is it kind of gummy feeling?
Yeah, it is. It's like gummy and sparkly as well.
I need some. Where'd you get it, do you know?
Dollar store.
Sweet. That is, you're my kind of girl. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, Puss, here we are.
Here we are.
Trail Days.
How many times have you been back to Damascus since your hike?
I've been back 4 times for Trail Days, and then I've been back like 3 or 4 times just to hike.
You know how when you're a kid you see a movie and then you see it again as an adult and it's like a completely different movie?
Mm-hmm.
That's how Damascus is every single time I come back. Like, I feel like it is a completely different town, and it feels different and it looks different and the atmosphere is totally different. I think this is like my 4th time ever coming to Damascus, and it's crazy.
It was my first time driving in from Abington, and we all know my story of Abington as far as going there and getting my boots replaced at the ski house.
The ski house?
And so I remember when I got out of here, somebody drove us up there. Somebody gave us a hitch, and it was a 2-hour drive from here to Abington. I swear, it was a 2-hour drive.
Were you in the back of a truck?
No.
Oh, good.
And then driving in today, it's 10 miles. It's 10 miles from Abington to here. And I was like, oh, that took like 9 minutes.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. But we have a celebrity with us.
I'm so excited.
I am so excited.
You know how I feel about child prodigies. And not to say that a 14-year-old is a child, but it's kind of my favorite thing.
Yeah, you feel that they must be squashed before they conquer us.
No, it just makes me feel like I was an underachiever as a 14-year-old. But we're sitting here with the lovely Chipmunk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi.
Hi, Chipmunk. What day did you start?
I started April 1st, and I didn't take the approach trail. I just walked southbound for a mile and then came down.
Right on.
That's the way to do it.
So
Everybody else just went on a day hike before they went for the longest backpacking trip of their life.
All right, you fuddy-duddies. So right now, your goal is to become the
Youngest solo Thru-Hiker.
Fantastic.
That's pretty...
What's the current record? Do you know?
I believe 16 or 17, but I'm not sure.
Sweet. So you're like there's a good margin of error there.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, you could take a while.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, man.
So how's your hike been so far?
My hike's been fantastic. I've only had like 1 or 2 like bad days, and that's it.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about like your typical couple of days. Do you have, a support crew? Are you you're doing it just like everybody else? What's it like?
I do have my parents and my dog following me in a truck camper.
Okay.
And they meet me like usually every day. If not, the longest I've gone without seeing them is 3 days in the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there weren't any gaps to like stop
Yeah,
and
that'd
meet
be rough.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they do support me and follow me, and every day, we pick out where I'm going to go to, and I always carry a full pack. I don't slack pack.
Yeah.
Even if I know I'm going to meet them that day.
That's awesome.
And this isn't your first long trip. You've done a long cycling trip as well?
I did. I rode 3,800 miles with my family up the East Coast from Florida up to New York and ending after 4 months in Louisville, Kentucky.
Holy cow.
So you're going to retire at 20.
So basically what you're telling us is you live in one of those families that basically all of our listeners wish that they had grown up in.
Yeah.
You've got the family that were like, well, let's just be adventurers and do cool things every day forever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're like slightly stinkier hippies.
Nice. That's saying something. That really is saying something.
Now, where are you guys from?
We're originally from New Jersey, but we lived in Hawaii, and then we traveled out west for 2 years in an RV, and now we live in Florida.
I want to join your family. I'm pretty sure it's not legal to adopt a almost 30-year-old, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And your mom seems like your whole family is just like, this is just another one of the great adventures to chalk up. I'm assuming that there's probably some homeschooling involved.
Yeah,
that seems like this would be
homeschooling.
difficult to do any other way.
Yeah, my mom says, like, if anyone ever asks, like, oh, did you take her out of school? My mom just goes, yeah, I figure waitressing is good work.
Good deal. So,
Are you doing homework now? Like, are you in school or are you on summer break, kind of?
Kind of on summer break, and I'm kind of going to catch up when I get back. But I'm doing, figuring out mileage and everything, so I'm still learning things.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 9th.
9th, okay.
wow.
Cool.
Wow.
9th grade.
I was really excited about getting my learner's permit in 9th grade. I think if I had the option, I would be even more excited about thru-hiking the AT, though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to get my driver's license when I get home. Don't have to walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So what day did you start?
April 1st.
April 1st. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's a great day to start.
So, do you think that there's any, like, challenges that you're facing that maybe like the average thru-hiker isn't facing as a young pup?
Yes, I have realized this. My legs are very short, and it's very difficult to get over logs because I see sort of like if you've met Cheetah Beav or Talker or anything, they've really like 6'6" guys. You know, they just step over logs, and I have to like sit down, shimmy my legs over. Yeah, toss my pack down a ledge and then climb down after it.
Yeah, but your sleeping bag was a lot less expensive than theirs.
It's true.
Trust me. I know, yeah, trust me. I can get into the short. It's pretty awesome. Where did the drive to become the youngest thru-hiker come from? Like, did you guys do a lot of hiking on the AT before this, or?
No, we went vacationing up in the mountains, and I believe it was Shenandoah.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a really short hike, and we sort of like passed the AT, you know?
Yeah.
And Dad like walked 50 feet down the AT and came back, and he's like, I walked the AT. And I sort of like, we came back to the lodge, and we were eating breakfast, and I was like, I wonder who's the youngest person to have done it alone, And we looked it up and saw that I was eligible to complete a record, and that sort of drove me to begin training. But in training, I just realized that it's really nice and peaceful to be hiking, and I think it's really important at this age as like a teenage girl, and sort of everything's being thrown at you as far as like media and society and how you're supposed to look. I think hiking and exercising is more important, what your body can do instead of just what it can look like.
Oh, very nice.
Man, you are so...
Please tell me you said that to Women's World or...
I did.
Yeah, good.
You're so well spoken.
I know.
I just want to put you in my pocket.
I don't talk good around her.
It sounds to me like your family is a little bit different than my family, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there that when I told my parents as a 25-year-old, like, I want to hike the AT, they were like, you're going to be in an unsafe situation. Like, is that something that you and your family have talked about, like, 14-year-old girl on the trail by yourself?
Well, I think they sort of did. I mean, I can understand them being nervous, but I think they thought that there's going to be, like, it's just going to be the regular world, but in the outdoors, and it's really, really completely isolated, and it's a different culture, I think.
Yeah.
Because I just have, like, all of these, people who come up, and it's, like, a big, muscly guy with a beard and everything, and he goes, hi, how are you, and everything. It's really nice, and I'm always expecting, like, something really scary, but, I've got mace.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go. She's equipped. It's fine.
Speaking of being scared, what were those 3 days in the Smokies like when you didn't see your folks for a couple of days? Were you nervous, or kind of more like, all right, cool, I'm at a couple of days off from mom and dad?
No, I wasn't really scared. I mean, I knew the group of people that like were sort of around me. Like, we would meet up at every shelter, but I can't really hike at their pace, because long legs and everything.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really scared, but we did see, as I thought I would see a bear at some point. I still haven't seen a bear, and I'm slightly disappointed.
You will.
You will.
You will.
But I did see deer playing outside the shelter, and it's so funny. They play just like puppies, and they get down on their front paws like that. It's so cute.
What's the craziest trail name you've heard so far?
Ooh, my friend Cheetah Beeve.
Cheetah Beeve,
because he goes about like 3.5 or 4 miles an hour, so he's like a cheetah, and then when he gets home, like to a shelter or something, he moves really slowly like a beaver. And he takes he takes like hour-long breaks.
There you go.
That's the way to be.
I guess if you're gonna hike like a crazy man, hour-long breaks are probably you're hiking the same amount of time and distance as I am on my best day without any breaks. So there you go.
Nice.
Do you have a plan, like, as far as you want to finish by this date, or are you the spreadsheet hiker that's like, we're gonna go this amount on this day, or are you just like, nope, just gonna make it happen?
Well, there is a certain amount of planning for meeting my parents at gaps where there's roads and everything, but other than that, I just want to make it to Katahdin before it closes.
Yeah.
I hate being in the cold.
Yeah, and I do too.
3 feet of snow is like half of my body.
Amen, sister.
Have you been, has there been a situation where, like, you missed where you were supposed to meet your folks? Has there been a moment of panic?
There has been, yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember what gap it was, but
Deep Gap. I'm just kidding.
It is always Deep Gap.
Sassafras. It was Sassafras Gap.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true professional.
Yeah, but there was a shelter 2.7 before the gap where I was supposed to meet my parents, and it was like 7:30 when I came into the shelter, and I'm like, all right, it's 3 miles. I'm just gonna try and go as fast as I can. I took like an energy shot. I was like trying to go as fast as I can, and I came in at 9, and my mom was like so freaked out. She was like, Eva, I can only see your little headlamp light. Let me take a picture of you. Let me take a picture of you.
If that had been me, my mother would be running down the trail to meet me for sure. This is a really good mom story moment. So when I was in the Grayson Highlands, I had horrible cell phone signal, and the deal I had with my mother was I will send you a text message whenever I have signal, and I would turn my phone on at night when I was making dinner, send her a text message, update my Twitter, get any text message that I had gotten that day, and then power my phone down.
Yeah.
And in the Grayson Highlands, I just had horrible service. So for like 3 or 4 days, I couldn't text her. But I told her before that, like, hey, the service is supposed to be really bad, so don't worry about it. And I think 2 days into that 4 or 5 day span, I run into the Ridge Runner, a gentleman named Garrett. And Garrett and I introduce ourselves, and we kind of become buddies and blah, blah, blah. And it's like 3 days later, I'm hiking down the trail, and Garrett, no, his name was Barrett, with a B, not a G.
Barrett.
But Barrett walks around the corner, and I'm like, Barrett, what's going on? And he's like, Puss in Boots, how you doing? Hey, your mom called me last night. And I said, and my eyes got really big, and I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he was like, yeah, apparently you haven't talked to your mom in enough days. She called the ATC, strong-armed them into giving out the Ridge Runner's phone number, and then they called me, and so I'm pretty much just walking this part of the trail to find you and tell your mom you're okay. And I was like, are you serious? The next time I had signal, I called my mom, and I was like, Mom! None of the other Thru-Hikers' moms are calling them. What are you doing? Mom! And then later in the Shenandoahs, I was walking along, and there was another Ridge Runner, and I introduced myself to him, and he said, oh, your mother's a quilter. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. Did my mom call you? He was like, no, my wife and your mother are just good friends. She told me to keep an eye out for you. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But yeah, that was the overprotective mom.
Yeah, what my mom does is, she's told me this, she kind of gets into Thru-Hikers' heads, and if they've passed me and they come into a gap, they'll go like, she'll, have you seen my daughter? Is she all right? And they'll go, yeah, I saw her, a few miles back. She was doing all right. And she'll give him a Rice Krispie treat. Mm-hmm. Then the next gap, they come in, they're like, I've seen your daughter. It's a few miles back. Here's your Rice Krispie treat.
Nice.
Little Pavlov dogs.
She conditions them. She conditions them. That's excellent.
She's training the Thru-Hikers.
That's a true mom trick.
Yeah.
As a mother who was like PTA president for my entire childhood, they've got tricks up their sleeves.
Yeah. My mom, on the other hand, she called the FBI. Because from a story I told her, she thought I had seen Eric Rudolph. I didn't think I had seen Eric Rudolph, but judging from a story my mom heard me tell, she thought I had seen, and this guy was wanted by the FBI.
Oh, okay.
He was the guy who in 1996 set off the bomb.
The Unabomber.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't the Unabomber.
Oh, no, sorry.
That's Kaczynski. This was just the guy that did it at the Atlanta Olympics. He set off a bomb, and so he was wanted, and he was out on the trail, and they found him near NOC. But so.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so it could be worse. Your mom could call the FBI. Well, what do you have planned for the rest of trail days? Do you hang out today, or are you out tomorrow?
I think I'm hiking tomorrow if all goes well, if the weather's all right. Other than that, I just want to hook up with some friends, say hi, maybe go out to eat, somewhere nice. We're planning to go to the Blue Blaze.
Yeah.
It's been recommended, and it sounds really good.
Yeah, I wanted to go for the karaoke contest.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a $100 prize tonight at the karaoke contest.
Oh, I'm going.
There might have to be a Pox and Puss duet.
And,
yeah. We already have competition.
We'll get carried off the airplane with the
Turn around every now and then.
I came up with a really good one yesterday. I don't want to give it away.
Okay, that's fair.
Go up there and rap.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
We could do Ebony and Ivory.
Who's who?
Ebony and obviously you're Ebony. I just want people to think you're black.
The Black Galifianakis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Chipmunk, it was really nice meeting you. We don't want to keep you.
Nice
I got
meeting
one
you
quick
too.
question for you.
Okay.
Have you got any free stuff just from being like the youngest person?
Yes,
Nice.
I've gotten of various kinds. Free food, free ice cream, free clothes, free backpack offers, 2 free pairs of boots, bunch of pancake mix. I've gotten everything under the sun because my mom is fantastic with getting free stuff.
That's awesome.
She's a good promoter. It sounds
awesome.
like.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Well, if you ever get tired of all the free stuff, we'll take plenty of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's nice meeting you.
It was lovely meeting you too.
Good luck on the
Thank you
rest of
very
your
much.
hike. It's definitely something to be proud of.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See, told you were going to like her. All right, you can follow Chipmunk on Twitter. She's at Openly Mountain Goat. Hey, Puss wants me to remind you that you guys can still buy the t-shirts we had for sale at Trail Days. Right now you get them for $20. That's including shipping, inside the U.S. and all that stuff. Men's sizes small through extra large. Women's sizes small through large. Okay? You can either tweet Puss at @PussInBoots, or you can just send an email to poxholiday@gmail.com. And I'll get the info to her. Okay, the next person we interviewed was a guy named Big Yankee. Big Yankee's just somebody listening to us. He was just kind of hanging around, and asked him if he wanted to hop on the mic, and he was awesome. In here, you're going to hear someone ask where the first aid tent is. That has nothing to do with a parade or anything like that. It just was a kid who fell off a bike on the Creeper Trail. That 1% grade path. Yeah, oh well. Anyway, here's Big Yankee.
You're kind of big.
Now we're recording.
Big dude.
I've lost 35 pounds on trail.
Congrats.
Oh, shit.
Congrats.
So not so big Yankee?
Not so big Yankee. I lost my pack weight actually, which is pretty great.
That's awesome.
Hey, you're breaking even.
Yeah, I'm breaking even now.
If you go to the medical screening tent, they're gonna be really mad at you. They were really mad at me when I went through. They were like, how much weight have you lost? And I was like, 25 pounds. And they were like, don't do that anymore. They were really mad.
I can't eat any more Snickers bars in a day than I do already. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost, by the end of it, I was close to 50 pounds that I'd lost.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. But then, I realized when I got home, even though I'm short, I'm not designed to be 145 pounds.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, it was
Yeah.
like Mr. Burns
It
walking
was-
around all
it
the
was,
time.
It was really disappointing because when I got home, and I weighed 30 pounds less than I did when I started, I still had this. And I was like, well, obviously that's just never going to go away. I'm never going to weigh this much ever again. And it's still there. So I have to resign myself to have... It makes me feel better when I watch Pulp Fiction and that little girl's like, I want a potbelly.
I want a pooch.
I want a potbelly.
I want a potbelly. Sorry. So, Big Yankee, where are you from?
I'm from Rhode Island,
Wow.
and I'm a Red Sox fan.
That's
so.
less Yankee-ish than I had anticipated.
Oh.
But that's fair.
Yeah, well,
I'm not going to judge you.
You say you are or not a Red Sox fan?
I am a Red Sox
Oh,
fan.
okay, okay,
So
yeah.
it hurts to be called a Yankee, but what happened was I was on the North Carolina border, and this guy, everyone in the South has been real nice, and he was just giving me a little hard time, and he goes, I don't usually like Yankees. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he goes, but you're lucky you're a big Yankee. And then this girl just goes, that's your trail name.
Bam.
Yeah. And then he asked you about your britches?
Ding, 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 ding.
He's like, you got one hell of a smile. Yeah, that question always comes up. It doesn't matter what, but deliverance comes up
Every
you know,
time.
every time.
Every
Every damn
time.
time.
I was at the Needle Gap Hostel, and Pirate had a deliverance luau for us where he made us all wear, leis and Hawaiian shirts. And then we watched deliverance and luau instructional videos and had Spam kebabs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it a special day?
Yeah, I guess he was
was it-
celebrating something. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was.
You know,
Yeah, I almost.
Anybody know where the first aid or medical tent is that they have here?
it's the Baptist church. If you go down and then hang right at or left at Cowboys and walk down a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Bike ride or a walk? Bike ride or a walk?
Either. Yeah. they're-
We're
No
the,
big deal.
We're the official information booth.
No big deal.
We're the information booth that sells T-shirts with dinosaurs on them.
It's cool. The microphones and headwear didn't give it away that we were busy at all. So it's cool.
No. I wonder what people do think. Like looking at it, because we haven't really addressed it yet. We are in a parking lot
Yeah.
in the rain.
In the rain,
With-
under an easy up,
with
which
T-shirts.
is not a euphemism.
No, Star Crunches, Twinkie-like things,
Some T-shirts.
Tropical Punch.
Yeah, thank you for those too. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And business cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're in the middle of a parking lot in case people can't tell.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll address that.
The traffic noise and background stuff, that's just regular old trail days, fun times.
And it's funny because every once in a while when somebody pulls in, pulls across the water, it sounds like in the headphones, it sounds like applause.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's delightful
It
then.
sounds like applause.
Real nice. Okay, so when I was in Gatlinburg, I had not showered,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't pay for a single drink at the bar. Everyone was just like, "Oh, you're a Thru-Hiker, have this." Or
Oh,
whatever.
nice.
And
Were they locals or tourists?
They were locals.
Nice.
So
That's
I met
excellent.
I met this one girl.
Meaning they were all from Florida originally. But yeah.
It's a weird town.
Yeah.
So I meet this one girl.
Did you go to the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum?
I did not.
Oh,
It looked
missed
cool.
out.
It looked
Yeah, is
real
cool.
cool.
Did you go to Fanny's?
No, I don't. What?
I'm just fucking with you.
We got some moonshine, old fake moonshine.
Yeah.
It was fun. Anyway, so I'm in my dirty clothes. I had taken a shower. I hadn't found any place to do laundry. And she's like, I have a washer and dryer back at my house. So I was like, all right. Yeah, exactly.
See where this is going?
But I'm wearing a kilt and I smell like trail like you wouldn't believe. So I wouldn't have invited me anywhere.
Right.
So that was a red flag right there. And we go back to, she has work in the morning. She was going to drive me back to Gatlinburg. She ends up pulling out a bag of shrooms at 5 a.m. And it was like, do you want it? I was like, oh, I really got to hike tomorrow.
It's going to be that kind of day.
I got a washing machine back at the house.
Yeah. Well, she was proud of that washing machine, too. Like, she was the first person to graduate college.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's decent.
Yeah.
She must have been doing quite well for herself to have a washing machine and shrooms.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't hooked up to hot water, though. She made that. She apologized for that. You'll still get your clothes clean.
That's
Fair.
highfalutin.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's
Let's not
fancy.
get too fancy.
Yeah. So her roommate ended up having to give me a ride back to town because it was 5 a.m. when she took them, and I had to get on trail around 8, and she skipped work. So
Classic.
She's fast on her way to getting hot water. She's got her priorities.
Fast track to success. That's awesome.
God. Oh my God. So what do you think it's going to be like in about, an hour or two?
I'm gonna guess rainy.
In 2 hours, we're going to have
a little
few
smellier.
thousand hikers? I mean, I haven't been to Tent City yet. Are we talking thousands?
It's Tent City, but we're standing in the congregational parking lot for the hiker parade. We're right in front of and in between Sundog Outfitters and MoJoe's. They have been kind enough to let us set up, and this parking lot is standing room only in about an hour and a half. So,
and from what I understand, the jackpot is up to $190 million.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Mega millions. Mega millions.
are you feeling lucky?
No, not at all. I haven't felt lucky in years. Let's see here. Man, when we got here, it was insane. Now it's kind of calmed down a bit.
Yeah. Coffee hour has passed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know.
being in front of the coffee shop.
And I have had 50. I've already told you I've had somewhere between 50 to 70 minutes of sleep. And
You look good.
Yeah, thanks. Feeling it.
You look good.
When I got here, it was like, what is it? Like noon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon? No, it's 8:30. It's 8:30. And now I'm like, oh, what is it? Like 2 in the afternoon? No, it's 11. It's fucking 11, Pox.
I was at Miss Janet's drum circle last night, and then I didn't really sleep.
It's the place
Yeah.
to be, I hear.
Yeah, I saw somebody put up on Twitter. They said, I have a drum burn. Like the girl actually had burns on her hands from playing the drums all
That
night
is
long.
doing it hard.
Yeah.
Congratulations, hand burn girl.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. It was a white girl with dreadlocks. I don't know. It's pretty
Well,
safe.
I mean, that could be any number of girls. You just never know.
White kid.
You just never know.
White girls with dreadlocks. Ooh, Dots is open now. They have the open sign up. Ooh. I might have to go run over there for old time's sake, because that's where the lady popped the balloon.
Where you got kissed by a 50-year-old.
I did not. Barf did.
Barf got
Yeah.
kissed by a 50-year-old.
Yeah. Right as she popped this balloon, she leaned in. She was like, "Is it your birthday?"
Townie?
I was like, yeah. Oh yeah.
We
She had a lit cigarette and came in and kissed him on the mouth and pow, popped his balloon with her lit cigarette.
popped his balloon.
Fucking awesome. It was great to watch
Got his balloon popped by a 50-year-old
on his birthday.
on his birthday. It's a dream, really fulfilled.
Are we getting rained on that side? We're okay. Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. It's okay. I think that it's all rubber. It's all covered.
Is it all plugged in securely and
I mean,
maybe?
it's in a surge protector.
I don't think that counts. The surge protector's getting rained on.
Oh no, it's fine. It's under here.
Okay.
I'm so used to the rain. I'm pretty sure it's rained more days than it hasn't, or it had some sort of precipitation.
Something came out that said it was a rainier year than 2003. I think.
Wow.
I think something came up with that I
It's
saw.
a great year.
Well, you know, this is the magical time when cold becomes warm, and you're just gonna get this for a while. I mean, it's the way that temperature change goes, and when seasons collide, they get angry. It's actually kind of pleasant though.
Yeah.
It's not unmanageable.
No. So what made you want to do the AT?
Man. So I was working in Barnes & Noble, and I was the least qualified person to work there.
You can't read?
Yeah. No, everyone had college degrees, good degrees too, and I'm still in college. I took the semester off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to graduate college and then work a minimum wage job. And maybe I was like, I'll do the Appalachian Trail. I've always wanted to do it, and maybe job market will bounce back a little bit, have something cool to put on a resume, and here I am.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had nothing keeping me at home. You know, me and the girlfriend broke up in August. So.
Oh, he's single, ladies. He's single.
He's single, and I can smell him from here.
It's the best kind.
You like sweaty bearded men.
It's the best kind.
Nice. So, what's the craziest trail name you've heard so far?
Craziest trail name. Man, I don't even know. There was a fake one made up, the Cincinnati, because you hear so many now. The Cincinnati Spooner. They're putting in fake little journal entries of the Cincinnati Spooner. Just came in the middle of the night for a quick spoon. Thanks for that.
I love it.
Shelter's packed just the way I like it.
That's awesome.
Oh God, I think somebody needs to have a fake Twitter account for the AT.
I'm sure
like
there
just
are.
a straight up liar.
There's gotta be.
Yeah, absolutely. God, the Cincinnati
That could be
Spooner.
really cruel though. Like if somebody had a fake hiker Twitter and it was like trail magic and blah blah blah, or like open shelter, we're having a party, free rides, somebody's taking us to Shoney's.
Ooh, Shoney's.
I know, right?
God, I had that happen one night. I ate an entire pizza at the Mount Rogers Partnership Shelter. Ate an entire pizza, and then a guy came up like an hour later and was like, "Hey, going into town. Going to go to Pizza Hut. They got an all-you-can-eat buffet." And it was like, I could do second dinner. Yeah, let's do that. And went and ate and gorged, and I think we each had like a pitcher of beer, and it was just like, like you just saw your night going one way. You're like, I'm just gonna relax, hang out. You know, it's a really nice shelter. The shower wasn't hooked up yet, but you know, it's like I was just so stoked that I could get pizza delivered there. And then it was like, why not get in the back of the stranger's truck, leave all of my gear inside this shelter, and go for a hike? And then that's the night that I met the guy who they thought was Eric Rudolph.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Brings it all back to Chipmunk.
Ties it all back around.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really funny how your perspective on the world changed. Like I was hanging out in a Gap one day, and this woman comes up to me and she's like, "Would you like a Snickers bar?" And I was like, "Yes, I would definitely like a Snickers bar. Regular life.
Yes.
Don't give me your candy."
Yeah. It's
Hello, stranger.
Yeah.
I would love some candy. Thank you.
There's a lot of faith you put into strangers.
Oh yeah.
You know, we had a guy come. He's Mr. Bordeaux, our British listener. He came in, and one of our British listeners, and like I picked him up at Winding Stair, and it was just kind of a well, either he's going to kill me or I'm going to kill him. You know, it's like what each one of us thought. And apparently
you left out, or it's gonna be totally fine.
Or it's gonna be totally fine. Yeah. But like in our minds, it's
this
like
is gonna go one of three ways.
Yeah. And then when I did bring the shotgun out on the last day, just so he got his picture taken, that changed things for him. Oh God.
What's happening?
It's happening. Button nipples happening directly in front of us. And guess what? They're different colors.
I hate that.
You might want to go see a doctor for that discoloration.
That's not normal. That's not normal.
No. So, do you have a time you need to be back? Like, so you're taking a semester off. You need to be back by a certain time. Or?
I mean, yeah, like early September. But I mean, if I have to take another one off,
It's relative.
That's what happened to me. I was like, I'm going to get this done. I'll be back in time for school. And then I got to Hot Springs and was like, no, I don't think I'm going the right speed to do that.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm saying it's an ever fluctuating kind of goal.
Absolutely.
Fuck you.
No.
One thing the AT has taught me is you can't plan a thing. Every plan I've made has failed.
Thank
I haven't
you.
made a single plan that worked out.
Amen.
Not a single thing.
True story.
Yeah, no, you make plans all the time, and then you think you're going to be able to hook up with people like when they're in town, and it's like, nope, you just missed them, But I guess now, like, have you traded phone numbers with other Thru-Hikers so you can text and tell them you're coming in town, that kind of thing? Or
I have AT&T. It's not.
so no,
It doesn't matter.
So nobody, nobody can hear you at all.
I'm actually part of a relatively big trail family. We call ourselves Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yeah, and there's about 10
that
to 12
come
of us. There was a guy one of them knew back at home, and on Tuesday he used to turn off his cell phone, buy drinks for strangers at the bar, and just really have a good time. And he told us a story, and we were like, well, we kind of want to have Tuesday be every day for us, and it doesn't really matter what day it is out here, and Tuesday kind of gets neglected as it's not hump day, it's not the first day of the week, no one parties on Tuesday, so Tuesday.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Nice. How many people in the group?
About 12 of us.
12?
Nice.
Yeah, you said that already.
That's a big trail family.
Yeah, I mean, we don't always stay at the same shelter,
Right.
People will go up ahead.
It's fluctuating.
Yeah, but we're
It's
always...
an extended trail family.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oatmeal, Thunderfoot, gravy, just a couple
Gravy.
Good.
Tallulah.
There's got to always be a gravy. I think.
Big.
There's probably that's another one of those names. There's probably one every year. There's a strider, there's a wolf, there's a bear, there's some kind of flower for a girl,
Of course.
and then
Sunshine.
sunshine. Yeah. I mean, one of my good friends was Flutterby, so
Ooh.
yeah.
There was a girl when I was on trail named Sunshine, but spelled SONSHINE. She was hiking for Jesus.
Oh,
Well,
that'll
there.
happen.
She was doing it for Jesus.
Jeepers Criminals.
Yeah, Damascus. So, when did you get into town?
Well, originally I got in town like around a month ago.
Right.
But I got in town on Wednesday because we just got a ride. I got to Daleville. I didn't really see the point of going any further because it was a big town and it's
Good
easy
place to hitch, yeah.
So I was like, I'll hang out in Damascus for another 4 days.
Yeah. So, did you hitch or?
We were going to, but then the group Trail Talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one of the people from there was coming, and one of the people in our group, Rooster, was actually coming here. Took his mom's truck, picked us up, and it was all good.
Nice.
We actually got stopped by a cop because the truck was overloaded, and we were expecting to get a ticket. But he said, "Just your windows are tinted. Just roll them up and crank the AC, and hopefully you'll make it to Damascus without getting pulled over again."
Whoa.
Yeah, he gave us a little tip on breaking the law.
That's
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
That was like we were walking through Tent City yesterday and didn't realize that you're allowed to drink in Tent City, but you're not allowed to drink outside of Tent City.
Uh-huh.
And we're like walking out, and the cops are like, "Hey, you can't bring those PBRs out of Tent City." And we were like, "Oh man, we'll just slam them right here." And one of the cops was like, "It's cool, just put it in a paper bag." And we're like, "Did a cop just tell us that?
Did he just
Thank
tell us
you.
to brown bag?
Thank you, police officer." It was awesome.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years? No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? That's actually a really good question.
Yo-yoing the trail.
No, for posterity's sake, tell
Constant.
us where you think you're going to be in 5 years, and then in 5 years, listen to the show again, and it'll blow your goddamn mind.
Oh man. See, I just said if the trail's taught me anything, it's you can't make plans.
Look at that cop out.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
I'm
kind of
hoping
that's
have a
the BS.
degree.
Degree?
And, working a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
living in a van down by the river.
That's probably a realistic view.
That's a-
I mean, I just graduated, and it's like, all right.
You know, that answer, although it's a good one, makes me kind of sad, because I think in 5 years you're going to be doing all of those things, and you're going to be like, right on. And it's not going to be the shock I was hoping for.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I did. Now, like, it made the change from Barnes & Noble to Borders.
All right. No. Okay. Let's have some goals.
Okay, yeah, goals.
I would like to be in some sort of government position.
Right,
We'll
yeah,
do that,
yeah.
or part of a nonprofit at a pretty high level there.
Right
Yeah.
on.
You definitely cleared yourself in the government thing by not saying you took the mushrooms with the lady. That helped.
Yeah.
That
Oh
helped.
yeah. I did not inhale them.
No, did
Well-
not. Did not. Has there been a big news thing you missed, and then like all of a sudden it popped up, and you're like, "Holy shit, what happened?"
Oh yeah, Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were out when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty crazy.
I actually found out about it when they got caught. So.
Okay.
It was
Yeah, that was a crazy thing to follow. Like when that was happening, it was like, because I thought immediately about like when I was on the trail, the Bill Clinton thing happened in '98.
Oh, okay.
So so there was that, and you had what did you have?
There was a 3-part celebrity death. Like it was.
Michael Jackson.
Jane Fonda.
No,
Farrah Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett, Michael Jackson, and Patrick Swayze all died within like a week or two of each other.
The OxyClean guy died right after that too.
Yeah. He totally did.
Yeah.
The OxyClean guy.
It wasn't. Yeah, there was. I mean, I say this, and now it's gonna be like somebody's gonna write in and be like, "You jerk! We bombed, something, or we did something crazy." But yeah, I don't think anything like huge happened in the news. There was just a good line of celebrity deaths.
Yeah. So who's this guy?
I don't even know him.
Okay.
No. He was just coming up there.
Random passerby.
It's okay. It's okay. This part of the hiking family?
No, actually, I saw him first time I got into Damascus, and he was leaving, and I was coming in. We partied at the Blue Blaze a little bit.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about the Blue Blaze. Have you done the karaoke?
Yes.
Karaoke there?
Kind of.
What'd you do?
The Trainwreck 5, there were 5 of us that all went up and sung horrible songs. The Hey Sharona or My Sharona.
Oh, yeah, My Sharona, yeah.
Hey Sharona, actually.
Oh.
What it became.
Hey
Sharona. Anyways, I'm going to let you get back to this fun-looking stuff here.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Yeah, it seems like there's a wave of people that were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, or maybe their tent was wet on the inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And now it's come down to like the people that are like, fuck it, I guess I've got to get up and go get coffee.
So I didn't really remember this as vividly until I got into Damascus, but it made me remember that when I got into Damascus, I got in at like 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
It was my first marathon day, and it was like 28 miles into Damascus.
Damascathon.
Yeah. And I was so totally tired when I got into town. Right as soon as you get into town, you like hike through people's backyards, and then there's a fake AT shelter, and it was like 11:30, and I was like, fuck it, I'm staying here. So we got into the shelter, even though there's a sign that says don't sleep in the shelter. We were like, what are they gonna do? It's Damascus the day before trail days, like Thursday of trail days, and sure enough,
SWAT team.
Police officers came around midnight, told us we had to get out. Very nicely. Damascus police are champions in their own right. So we walked down to the place. There were 3 bunks left in the place. So me and my hiking buddy went into the place. We got into bunks, and the only bunk left in the whole building was the one right above me. And a fellow hiker came in about 20 minutes after we got there, crawled up into the top bunk, and I could hear his stomach churning, and he was like dry heaving on the top bunk, and I was like, I'm not gonna get showered and vomit. I can't do it. So I got up and I went downstairs, and there was a couch. The couch specifically had a sign that says don't sleep on the couch, but I curled up on the couch, and at about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, Lone Wolf kicked me out, told me that you weren't allowed to sleep on the couch. And
did you plead your case?
I tried. I actually said, I've only been here since like midnight, and at this point I'm just napping. I'm not even sleeping.
Yeah, it's not technically sleeping.
He told me that didn't count. And so I at like 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, I walked to Cowboys, and I waited until they opened the doors, and I was the first person at Cowboys to get a biscuit and a cup of coffee.
I sat out one trail days. I think I just woke up insanely early. And beat Cowboys to being open. It was just like, just biscuits and gravy.
I'm pretty sure I ate breakfast, and then I secured a place to sleep. I might have even gotten a room at the B&B, and I napped for a good bit of the day, and then joined the festivities.
Oh my! Did you avoid norovirus or?
Oh no, I got it.
You got it full blown, both ends.
I was at Sam's Gap right before Irwin.
Big Bald.
Yeah, we decided to actually Cowboy right before the road. which was the best decision I've ever made, because those zippers don't work when you need them to get out of your tent or your sleeping bag. Yeah. And there was 3 of us camping there, and we all got sick right around 1:30, and it was just this disgusting symphony of vomiting.
That's how tents get sprayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happens when bodies start slapping.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
That sounds terrible.
It seems like does it seem like it's died down?
I mean, from what I hear from hikers coming into Damascus, that it's still going on back there. Yeah. But I'm a little further north of it now.
I mean, does it seem to all be like southerly, like, or is it slowly creeping up?
I would
imagine it's got to be moving northward at some kind of clip, but
yeah, I mean, from what I heard, it's still between like Hot Springs and Irwin. But where I'm at, supposedly one person got sick, and then a whole bunch of rumors start. Someone could drink too much beer one night and someone sees them throwing up. Norovirus is bad.
Right. Yeah.
God, yeah, because I mean, I know there were pictures in the Asheville Citizen Times. They had sent like teams out with like antiviral, antibacterial kind of things, and like you just see a guy with a mop like scrubbing down a shelter. And it's like scrubbing down wood, and like because it's become
that's rough.
I mean,
porous surfaces are not easy to disinfect.
I mean, I think either the North Carolina, Tennessee, or maybe the U.S. like disease control.
You would think they could put on like a spray backpack, like a weed spray backpack, and just spray shit down. Man,
just walking
that would
along.
be terrible. That would be awful.
There it is.
Holy cow!
That was my pantomime of
that was a good one.
Spraying out.
For those of you who can't,
it's called a Murphy sprayer. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I used to know what it was called because I used to have to use them for work. Well, should we call it a date?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Really appreciate talking to you. Best of luck on your hike.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Come on by. You'll be here in an hour or two anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, actually, I might not even leave.
Yeah.
That's a good
I think I'm gonna go grab a beer from the sit-go and then.
That's the way.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
get a brown bag. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks,
man.
See, Big Yankee was awesome. And a little while after that, in the parade, he actually jumped into the Cadillac that had come into the parade and attempted to try and bring it to a stop. And then he was one of the people that also helped to lift the car later. The next person that we interviewed was someone that I actually summited Katahdin with in 1998. His name was Little Mac. We didn't hike together a lot, but he was a really friendly guy, and he has one of the most amazing stories. He stuck around Katahdin for a few days and climbed it a few more times, once with Earl Schaffer. So that's a really great story. I know you guys are going to enjoy this too. Okay, here's Little Mac.
We'll just do it all one more time.
Well, I've been looking forward to this. Do-over. So I've been looking forward to this for a while. Sitting next to me is 1998 Thru-Hiker Little Mac. We summited the same day, October 5th, 1998.
I believe you're right.
Something like that. And
had a big group that day.
Yeah, the mountain had been closed for I think 3 days before. Correct? I think it was like 3 days it had been closed. And I've talked about before, I wound up running into somebody who I had not seen since like Rural Retreat, Virginia.
Okay.
And she had been at like weeks ahead of us,
sure.
It seemed like, and then she kind of slowed down, and then I literally was signing the register at Katahdin, and it was like squirrels ahead of us.
Yeah.
So a lot of people compacted right there, and it was, I think at one point in time.
You know what was wild, Pox, was we kind of leapfrog each other over the course of the whole 6 months.
Yeah.
And you hike with a person for 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and then a month later you come around a bend and there they are. It's pretty cool.
Now
to follow through with that, the day we're hiking up, the final day, the summit, you're meeting people for the first time.
And
it's like, oh wow, that's neat. I've seen your name in the register, and here we are. Dadgum, we're not going to get to know each other too well because we only got the one day.
That's my favorite. I actually met some of my favorite people in Millinocket, and we hung out for the day, and then it was like, well, bye. Like, I wish that we had another month to hike together, but
that's so true.
Yeah.
Now you hiked with. Did you hiked with someone for a while? Kind of like not with someone, like you didn't start with them, but like you were around a little pack for a little while.
Well, early on, I was with a really great group, about 7-8 people. A couple of them, I don't remember their names. I think they kind of went by the dancers.
Okay. Yeah.
He had. They both had some great stories about their dancing careers. I think the guy was with the Joffrey Ballet or something for a while, and just his stories of struggle about getting started when he was very young, and just really neat people. G.I. Jane and Frenchie.
I remember G.I. Jane.
Redneck Rye was in that group. Oh, I'm forgetting some, but yeah, we spent the early days together.
Yeah, gosh. Now, I know that when I got to the hell's the last city in New Hampshire? I'm blanking out right now. In New Hampshire.
Man, you're asking the wrong guy.
God, it's okay. There was one that was in a barn. Was that just the barn?
There was the barn, and then north up the street or west up the street was the hiker hostel.
That's, I stayed there for almost 10 days because I got Giardia in the whites.
Okay.
And while we were there, you had a mishap.
Yeah.
In the notch.
Do you remember Bruce at the hiker hostel?
He was a really big guy.
Full beard. Yes.
Yeah, he was.
And he was always shuttling people around.
He was like the son of the two people that owned it or something, right?
And I don't know the relative.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, I know Bruce. Yeah, he was a big guy. Yeah.
And he just loved working with the people and shuttling them around and telling them all about the countryside.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he was a great guy to be around. I'll never forget. We were. This was after my mishap, so I'm getting a little bit ahead here.
It's all right.
But I'll never forget his excitement. That was when some of the fall colors were just starting to come in the upper elevations.
Right.
And we're driving along this road, and all of a sudden he just slams on the brakes, pulls over, and he says, look up there. And I'm thinking, what? He goes, the color is starting. He was so excited. I'm like, okay, this is a big deal up here.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Because I remember getting there, and I got there at like Memorial Day or Labor Day, whatever that would have been, late there in the season. I guess Labor Day.
Okay.
And all the in-town doctors were gone. And because it was the weekend, and I mean, I literally started getting sick in Pinkham Notch, going up and over. I probably stopped to use the bath. Like, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, pooping going up that incline at Pinkham Notch, you are literally holding on to a tree because anywhere else you're falling down the hill. And it's kind of But anyway, we talk about poop a lot on the show because it comes up a lot out here.
Sure.
Everybody's pooping around everybody else.
Sure.
But anyway, I remember I got there, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll take you to the doctor on Monday. Like, okay. And then like Bruce came in and was like, we realized something. Monday's Labor Day. And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And so they finally were like, and I'm like, I'm really sick. Like I needed to go to the hospital days ago, but I really need to go. And so it wound up, they took me to the hospital like 30 miles away or something like that. And just gave me the flagyl, all that kind of stuff. And after a while, I was just fine.
Great.
But I mean, they were really friendly. And while I was there, I got to see Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa go for the home run derby.
Okay.
Remember that was going on out there?
Yeah.
But I remember that somebody came back one night and said that you had a mishap. I mean, do you want to talk about that, or?
I not at all. I love telling that story.
Okay.
I had hiked out of that, whatever it is, this town we can't think of.
Yeah.
It's when you hike out of that town, that's when you first cross into the Maine.
It's not Hanover, is it? No, that's
Hanover is Dartmouth.
That's Dartmouth, yeah. Other end. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I am so psyched to get to Maine.
Yeah.
Early on in the trail, Flutterby instilled in me the concept: go slow, because you want to time it right for the colors in Maine.
Right.
Or the Northeast, I should say. And so here I'm psyched, and the colors are just starting to set in, and I'm in the last state. I'm in Maine.
Right.
And I was by myself. So I had a day off in town. So you know how it is the day after a day off in town. You feel so strong.
Yeah.
Gorham, that's what it is. You got the literature right here, don't you?
I had to get it, yeah.
So I feel strong. A day after a 0 day, you just can bust
Invincible.
it out. Yeah. And so I blew right by the first shelter. And I said, there's a shelter at Carlo Cole, I believe it was the name.
Okay.
And Carlo Cole shelter, I think maybe there's one more shelter before you get to the notch. I think that's the area it's in.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's very close to the notch. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Like just down the hill is the notch. Yeah, I remember that now.
So it's getting like supper time, and that time of year it gets dark pretty quick.
Yeah.
And the shadows are coming in pretty good. And I come to this spot, and I'm not far, maybe a couple of tents away from the side trail that goes to the shelter.
Right.
And I come to this kind of like a ledge, and I just had to stand there and look for a while because it just wasn't obvious where the hikers were getting down this ledge.
Right.
Well, unbeknownst to me, it's a squeezer off to the far left, and the shadows are such that I just don't see it yet. So I'm kind of walking up and down this ledge to kind of find the track or whatever,
right.
you know. Well, next thing I know, my foot slipped, and I tried to overcompensate, and so basically I did a belly flop from about, 15, 20 feet. It was quite a ways.
Yeah.
And you talk about having someone on your shoulder looking after you, that old concept, because basically I did a belly flop. Keep in mind, I've got a hold of hiking poles.
Yeah, I was going to ask, yeah.
Number one, I could have impaled myself on one of them suckers, and that never happened.
And you have your full pack, correct?
Have my full pack on.
I couldn't remember if you were slacking or not, yeah.
No, I had my full pack on. And so I do this belly flop onto the ground. I wear glasses. My glasses are all bent up for where my head hit the ground. And scratched, and the poles did scratch my legs up a little bit. But the obvious thing was my sore back. But anyway, I'm trying to get myself up. Of course, when you have a traumatic experience, your whole body's kind of shaking a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And as soon as I look up, I realize, like, on 2 feet each side of my head is just solid boulders.
Yeah.
If I had fallen either way by just a little bit.
Cracked your head,
Oh, absolutely, you know?
Wow.
And so I thought, well, this is interesting. So I thought, well, get yourself together here. The shelter's not that far away, you know?
Yeah.
So I get down, I hobble down there, and nobody at the shelter.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, oh, darn, I was kind of hoping to get a little help here, you know?
Yeah.
But, because I knew hiking was over with for a while. It was that my back really felt bad.
Yeah.
And number one, I just want somebody to look at my back, see if there's like obvious bruising or anything like that.
Yeah.
So when nobody's there, and now it's dark, I'm thinking, okay, I'm out of water. Now I got to hobble out to the creek and get some water.
Cell phones are about 10 years away.
Yeah. So, not to say the least, that was kind of a long night. I couldn't sleep very well. And early the next morning, I'm going to forget this hiker's name. Bruce brought him in on one of the logging roads from town to do a reverse slack. It's like a mile down to a logging road from there. And so I heard the sound of a hiker coming up the trail. So I hollered out at him. I think it was Long Distance Man. Does that ring a bell?
It does, but yeah.
Anyway, so I told him the situation. So we made a plan out that he was going to continue on his reverse hike. And I said, if you tell Bruce, I'll be out there at 7 tomorrow morning. Somehow, some way, I'll be out there. If he could pick me up and take me back to town. And he said, okay, that's the plan.
Wow.
And so then that's how the kind of the word got out, going reverse on the trail. So he's meeting hikers along the way. He says, hey, check in on Little Mac when you get over there.
Yeah.
He may need some help. But
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead with your question.
I was going to say, because it's funny how, because I don't think you and I, we've been to a couple trail days since then. I don't think we ever talked about that before, because the story I heard was that you were stuck in the notch for like a full day, like not in the shelter. I had heard like you couldn't get up, like you were in a position like you had gotten stuck. And like again, that's how rumors go.
Really?
I had heard
Now,
you spent the night in your wearing your pack in the notch.
I heard you died.
No. Oh, I've died many times, but not that way.
Yeah. No, that's just funny because when you said I made it back to the shelter, I'm like, that's not the. Are you sure that's not the way I've heard it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Some of that rumor may be because I had to, in order to make that plan work, I had to stay a second night in the shelter.
Yeah.
And of course, and then it turned out rainy that day, so the shelter was packed that night.
Yeah.
The second night I was there, and so obviously then I had all the help I could ask for, and it was great. A couple guys took the pack out for me the next morning. I mean, I could walk, but it was tough to walk. But I could get down there.
So did Bruce bring you back to? Because I think that's.
Yep.
I think I remember seeing
you
Bruce
there.
And
another thing that gave me a lot of health, medical confidence that second night was Rogue. Do you remember
Enlightened Rogue?
Yes. He happened to be doing a couple of, I believe they were cousins of his, two of them, were doing a section with him.
Huh.
Turns out one of them's a doctor.
Jeez.
And he kind of pulls me off to the side and he says, hey, my cousin would be more than happy to look at your back and, see what he can see. And I go, well, that'd be great, So he did the usual thing. He did his little thumping around on my back like doctors do. And I remember the advice he gave me. He said, it should get a little bit better every day.
Yeah.
He says, if it doesn't, get to a doctor. And I said, okay. And that's exactly what happened. It took about a week for it to really get to the point where I could put the full pack back on.
Wow.
But the side benefit was I had a great time back in town.
Yeah.
And it was my first meeting with Earl Schaffer.
Oh, wow.
They were kind of quietly whisking him in and out of towns that year.
Yes.
And
not saying he yellow blazed. No.
That facility was one of the spots that he came into one of the nights that I was staying there. And Bruce comes up into the bunk room one evening. He goes, "Hey, Little Mac, come outside. There's somebody you need to meet." He didn't tell me anything. And I go out there, and of course, I knew his face.
Like,
I knew what he looked. I go, "Well, hello, nice to see you."
Yeah.
And
wow. I never met him. The only time I saw him at all was here, during the hiker parade. He was like really close to the front. Mm-hmm. And I saw a pith helmet. That was it. I saw a pith helmet, and I held up my disposable camera and took one picture. And if you look really close in this one picture, you can see a pith helmet. And that's the only thing I saw from Earl Schaffer. Now, when we got to the top, when we got to A-Ball Bridge store, Barf and I and a few other people, well, actually Barf and I, we got a Sharpie sent to us so we could write some thank yous on something. We didn't know what we were going to do, so we got to A-Ball Bridge. They gave us cardboard. We're like, they had like old like beer boxes. So we did this, and then we took a bunch back, and Sightseer and Landscape saw what we were doing, and so they were like, "Can we use that sign?" Because all we had one was like, "Thank you, Mom and Dad."
Okay.
And so that sign got passed around like by everybody up on top of Katahdin that day. "Hey, thank you, Mom and Dad." And then I think I remember somebody
so sincere.
Yeah, somebody holding up holding it up so it didn't say Dad. "Thanks, Mom." And so people used that, and then we had one that said the only thing it said at the top says, "Ha, we beat Earl," because everybody was concerned they were going to get passed by an 80-year-old man that year, So it said, "Ha, we beat Earl," and then at the bottom, Barf wrote, "And thank you, Tabasco." And I was like, okay, because we use Tabasco in everything. And he wound up sending that picture to the McIlhenny and company down in Louisiana. Sent it to him like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, my buddy and I, we used Tabasco everywhere we went." So like 3 months later, we got like a chef's bottle of Tabasco, and it just has normal Tabasco label on the front and on the back. It's embossed with like, "This is to recognize your significant event," and it was signed by, quote unquote, signed by someone from the McIlhenny company. So I still have this big bottle of Tabasco sauce there.
Nice.
And he had to explain like, "Oh, by the way, Earl is the first guy who ever hiked the Appalachian Trail." And so it was pretty cool. But yeah, I never got to see him, never got to meet him. But I guess did he summit like the day after we did? Because didn't he summit with Flutterby?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Flutterby was nice enough to get the message to me that bad weather, they knew bad weather was coming in.
Yeah.
And she got word to me and saying, hey, we're going to hitch ahead, come into town and get the summit over with, and then we'll go back and do the rest later.
Yeah.
And so I met up with her and her honey boy David, and that was 2 days after we summited.
Okay.
And we get into the parking lot, and Llama comes sprinting towards our car, yelling, he's here, he's here, he's here. That's all she's saying. And we're like, what are you talking about? Earl, he's here. They got a real early start. He's already headed up. So we passed him about halfway up.
Oh, wow.
And it was nice.
Did you wait around for him to get up there?
Everybody did.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't pass up that opportunity.
It was just an amazing moment when he got there, because it was a good day, and there was a lot of people on top of the mountain that day. And literally as if the waters parted. There was all these hikers around the summit sign, and then when they saw him coming, it was like the group just split in half and just left him a path to just walk right up to the sign, and he put his hand on the sign, and he's a very quiet man, doesn't say much, so he just kind of smiled, and isn't this nice? And he, it's like, wow, we're witnessing history here, and that was just a great moment,
Now, you are from Indiana?
Correct.
And you got your trail name because you did what for a living beforehand?
I'm going to surprise you on that. I am a truck driver for many years, and everybody thinks Little Mac has to do with Mack trucks.
Oh,
but it does not.
Oh, shit.
No.
All these years. 15 years I've been lying to people.
when I was, I'm going to say like junior high-ish age.
Right.
I've got an older brother, 2 years older, and our last name is Irish, Mac Lane.
Okay.
And somehow he got the nickname Big Mac.
Ah.
And so now I'm the more diminutive younger brother, and just the Little Mac stuck. And when we started on the trail, it became obvious if you don't choose your own nickname,
you're going to get one.
Something's going to get tagged on you, and you may not like it, but you got to put up with it because that's what everybody knows you as. So. So that's how that got to be.
I thought it was from the Mack trucks, man.
No,
man, a living. I've got you all wrong.
Do I really know you, Pox? Is that?
I guess not. I guess not. That's too good.
You and I didn't hike a lot together, but we kind of kept passing and leapfrogging or something there.
Well, what happened was, I didn't really do much blue blazing at all on the trail. There were a couple times I took something and it was like, oh, that was the old AT, or,
Sure.
A couple of times people said, you got to take this one instead of the other one. So I never really did much blue blazing until we got to Maine. And for some reason, we just got this, like, we need to go, we can take shortcuts. And so it was also the first time since, like, in the Whites, we got maps. And so we started looking at the maps, and then we were like, this whole new world opened up. Like, we just took this here and made our way across here, wouldn't have to worry about this, doing this mountain here or whatever. And I remember that we crossed the Kennebec. And then once after we crossed the Kennebec, there's that little town there. The little town just has it's like a general store out front.
I can picture it, and I can't tell you the name.
Yeah, and so we went through there, and you do a little road walking through town, or at least you did, Lord knows now. Mm-hmm. Did a little road walking, and then we realized, well, hold on. If we just stay on this road, it goes around that mountain, and we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It was the old AT. Well, so we started doing that, and we realized, holy shit, we're lost. And I remember at one point in time we came up, and there's that real long lake before you get after you go over Kennebec, and there's a lake it's where the suspension bridge the wire bridge where you can walk across on the wires. And so we were coming up to that. It's this big lake, And we get up there, and we realize we're in someone's backyard. And it's all those, like, little Maine cottages, like winter home, summer home kind of things. You know, nothing but...
I remember you telling me this story.
Yeah, and so...
Because we sheltered a couple of times in Maine.
And that's when it happened. We got up, I walked to the guy's backyard, I stepped in a hole, and I walked around the side of the truck, and he's standing there. He's like, I thought you were the dumbest moose I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And then, so we wound up 2 days in a row tenting close to you. Or actually staying in the same shelter as you, but we had done 9 more miles each day.
Okay.
Because you took the trail, and then we blue blazed, and then was like, oh shit, we're 9 miles. So we added 9 miles to our day, 2 days in a row. And it was like, okay, that's it, no more blue blazing. But both times it was around you, and you're like, I left after you.
Yeah.
You guys get in after me. I didn't see you all day.
Yeah.
And I remember that night, we're just worn out as we could be.
We stayed in it was some fairly new shelters, and they were like twins. They're like 2 shelters right beside each other.
I remember the coyotes started up one night.
Oh, I forgot that.
Coyotes went wild. Like there was a break of trees on the other side, maybe like 100 yards away from the shelter, and you could kind of see a field back behind this, or like some grass, and just out of nowhere, just like shitloads of coyotes started going nuts, and we're all like, all right. You were like, yep, they've been doing that for a little while before you guys got here too. We're like, okay, all right, it's gonna be one of those nights.
Yeah.
and then I think we wound up catching up at Shaw's after that, because we were like 2 days away from Shaw's.
Okay, I stayed at the Pie Ladies, but I remember going over to Shaw's and visiting with hikers, and I want to tell us a couple of stories about you. Okay. And some of my first impressions of you. How do I say this?
I was 21.
It has to do with trail magic.
Okay.
Trail magic is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So many people just give of their time and just love to hang out with the hikers.
Right.
But I guess the way I felt about the trail magic is if you run into it, you do. If you don't, you don't.
Right.
You know, it's not like you kind of feel guilty if you start thinking it's supposed to happen. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I felt very lucky to get as much trail magic that I saw. And I don't remember where on the trail this happened, but it always seemed like you were like just 10 minutes late for it.
Yes.
And somewhere we'd be leapfrogging, we'd cross paths, and we'd be telling our stories, and you'd say, geez, you lucky son of a guns, we were just there and we didn't see that, you know, and this would happen again and again, and pretty soon it was like your little comedic routine where you'd be saying, okay, well, what did you guys run into this time?
What'd you guys get now? Actually, our first episode ever was about trail magic, and we had Flo Easy on. You remember
Flo?
Oh,
absolutely.
And that dude got more trail magic. We talked about it. I thought he was one of them. But,
Flo and Linville.
Flo and Linville, of course, having a little white fluffy dog helps. Yep. But then I remember Sightseer and Landscape, they were actually given cash at one point in time.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just like every time they turned around, they had something good happen to them. And then one time a guy was like,
and Landscape's dog was who? What was his or hers name? I forget now.
It was a he, Landscape, Sightseer, and...
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, gosh, I cannot remember.
She'll be calling you up.
Yeah. I was hoping she was going to make it, but I think a lot of people are going to that thing in Fat Fest.
Okay.
Up in Harriman State Park. And I think I actually got to the end of one of the first ones and didn't know what was going on, and it was like just worn out, just going through the lemon squeezer. It was the hottest day in New York City.
Okay.
That year.
It was hot.
In New York
I remember
City.
that.
Yeah, it was disgusting. But I made it to a little bit of that. I think I got like a piece of cake, and it was like, okay, I don't know any of these people here. I'm going to keep on hiking. And then come to find out, like, oh, you just missed like round whatever of food. Like,
okay,
you know, so that kind of stuff kept happening. But you have another one?
Another story?
Oh, I thought you had another one about me. You was like,
oh no, that was.
Oh, okay.
I just remember you got to the point where it became like a comedic routine.
Yeah.
You were just. It was funny.
Oh it happens so much to the point where I could do nothing else but laugh at it at the end. You're like, okay, I guess.
This is your fate.
This is just how it is, and it kind of being the outcast kind of paid off at points. But it's funny because I've looked back. And I've had more trail magic than I can remember, and like it'll come to me a little bit, but yeah, it is relative. When you talk to other people, you're like, oh my god, like I never had that, hey, come back and stay at our house thing. Like I never got one of those where it was like someone who doesn't normally do trail magic, not a trail angel. They were just like,
right,
that happened a couple of times to Flo and that gang, and they're just like, yeah, come on back to our house. We're having a family reunion, and everybody brought food.
Sure.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, Little Mac, I'm gonna let you go because I gotta pee.
I hear you. It happens.
But we're going to see you in the parade, of course.
I think I will. Gosh, there's got to be some more 98ers here somewhere, don't you think?
15 years.
What are the odds?
Yeah, there's got to be something. More than just the two of us. I'll have to see.
We'll see.
Got to be some other ones. But
nice talking to you,
absolutely.
Fox.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye.
I couldn't imagine climbing Katahdin with Earl Schaffer. That'd be amazing. So you can start to hear that the crowd noise is building up. We're getting closer and closer to time for the parade to begin. The next gentleman we interview is Whitey Ford, also known as DC. He's hiking with his dog Moose, a really cute mix, pit something else, American Stafford. Just a beautiful, beautiful dog, and as sweet as he could be, making funny little Chewbacca noises. So Whitey sat down to talk with us about his experience so far. Whitey has seen it all so far. He's had the norovirus while Bear was circling his campsite. I believe he had his wallet stolen at one point. But a very upbeat guy, very good message. And yeah, just a really great listen. I'm glad we got to sit down with him. He's doing some great videos on YouTube. You can find him at We Will Finish. That's his Instagram. That's his Twitter. So go find him and follow him along. He's a really interesting dude. All right, here he is.
All right, so it's obviously getting a lot louder now. We have what time is it? It's 1:28. We have about 30 minutes before the Thru-Hiker parade starts up. But sitting to my right is...
Hey, Whitey.
Mr. Whitey Ford. What's your Instagram?
It's We Will Finish.
We Will Finish.
Yeah, it's Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Is Twitter as well? We Will Finish. Okay, cool. But you're hiking with your pal
Moose,
and Moose is a very sweet dog. You hear him kind of making some funny noises.
Oh, he sounds like Chewbacca.
Oh,
just wait.
But I mean, let's see. We've got to his immediate right there. There's another dog. There's one over there. There's dogs everywhere right now.
Oh yeah.
Have you run into many other dogs on the AT?
Actually, we have. There's quite a few dogs out here. A couple pit bulls that are out here as well. They're a little iffy. Whatever.
Yeah.
But he's been doing really good too, man, with all the other dogs. He just wants to play all the time.
And Moose is what kind of dog?
Moose is actually an American Staffordshire Terrier / pit bull, but paperwork says
Stafford Terrier.
Exactly.
What day did you guys finally start?
April 6th.
April 6th.
Yeah, we started a little late that day.
And you're now up to Damascus?
We're up to Damascus.
Nice. Have you had any? Now we were just talking before this. You've had some norovirus issues, just like everybody else out here.
That was horrible.
But you
felt like my asshole fell out.
I was gonna say it sounds like your norovirus came at a very inopportune time. What would you mind telling us what happened?
Man, we're at Sam's Gap, probably about 12:30 at night. I come flying out of the tent and had to end up puking. Slim Jims, that is. Dealt with a bear at the same time, and then a few hours. Ended up ended up having some diarrhea issues, and finally got the bear to go away, and then hiked 24.7 into Irwin, dealt with that. Lady picks us up. Oh, don't drink the tap water. Oh, so you're telling me that Irwin's a cesspool. Thanks. Thanks. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're originally from Indiana?
Nope. I actually am from Texas.
Oh, you're from
Orange,
Texas. I was like born in Texas.
But I live in the armpit of the world, South Bend, Indiana.
I've got a friend that lives there, and he enjoys. Of course, he's also 60-something years old. That seems like that would be the demographic for South Bend.
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
Is it a young town? Is it a college town? Like, I mean, obviously it's college.
Well, it's Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
it's, let's just say it's the hood. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't go there, did I? No, it's economy's not that great, but whatever. Home's home, wherever you make it.
What's in South Bend besides Notre Dame? Like, is there a big...
Oh, you got the Hummer plants, the RV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of an up and down thing out there.
Yeah. And so you are hiking for a cause, correct?
That I am.
Yeah, go ahead and tell
a couple causes.
About that.
I mean, number one reason's for me. I need some kind of change in my life, and just so I honestly believe that the trail has something out there for me.
Right.
Hopefully I find it in the end. Maybe it's 2 years down the road, but we'll see.
Right.
Another reason is my Chewbacca boy over here, Moosey. Moose is, it's his breed discrimination that's going on, and Moose is out here trying to show up everything in a positive way, showing that these animals, beautiful creatures, that they just want love. They're not these monsters that society has made them out to be. Man, they're phenomenal. The great companion on the trail, the great companions. I've got so many videos and pictures with him with kids, and just to help prove this point. And I'm just one person. If we can, this is me putting back to help these guys out. That's what I'm going to do. I've been around them my entire life, and I've never had an issue. You can take any dog and make them vicious.
I was going to say, you could make a Chihuahua killer if you wanted to.
But you're not going to see that in the newspaper. I mean, a pack of Chihuahuas got an old lady.
Actually, that'd be kind of sweet.
That would be kind of funny, though.
No offense to the lady, but I wouldn't mind seeing the wild pack of rabid Chihuahuas.
She's beating him with her walker or bedpan. Get out of
Now, how old is Moose?
Moose is 2 years and almost 6 months.
Nice. And did I hear you say he had an issue with his paw?
Yeah, he got his toe stuck in a root one day, and it wasn't that bad. It did swell up a little bit. There happened to be a vet out there, and he's like, "Oh, it's not." That was perfect timing too, But he ended up getting his foot caught. It swelled up a little bit. He said, "Just get him off trail for a day or so," and that's the same day of Irwin, and so it was kind of everything happened at once. And
it's funny. You're the third person to sit in that chair and tell a story about. It was just the right time. Little Mac, who you just met, he fell down at Pinkham Notch. Damn it! Oh well, he fell down, hurt himself, and he literally had to stay in a shelter for a day before anybody came because he fell like 15 feet off rock onto rock, and he crawled back to the shelter, which was only like 100 yards away from where he fell. Nobody there. Had to wait till the next day. Somebody finally came along and helped him out. Turns out one of the guys we hiked with, he happened to have like his sister and brother-in-law. The brother-in-law was a doctor or like a nurse practitioner, something like that. And basically was like, "Oh, I could take a look at your back." Had a guy a little while ago. He didn't want to get on mic, but he sat down and talked with us for a while. He cut his hand wide open one day and got to a road crossing and finally got to like a hostel or a bed and breakfast, and one of the people staying there was a doctor, and they're like, "Oh, let me help you out with that hand." It just seems like a lot of stuff. I mean, honestly, you can get fucked out here.
Oh yeah.
But there does seem like a lot of times there is that, I don't want to call it trail magic because it doesn't happen to me that often, but they're just things that kind of magically happen every once in a while. You're like, holy shit, like, to have a vet out there, what are the fucking odds?
Yeah. It was. Yeah, because it was a RoboCop is one of the Thru-Hikers right now, and he was like, "Hey, just so you know, this guy's a vet." And I was like, "Oh, thank God." I thought we were done. And he checked him over and said he was good to go. Yeah, but it's been like that the entire time. It's been, little things here and there that you're like, wow, I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
You just get beat the hell up for the day when sassafras comes along, one of the many.
Yeah, sassafras or deep gap.
I've come to realize if it says sassafras, your day's going to suck. Or if it says has ladder anywhere in it, just find an elevator or somewhere else because it's just going to be a rotten day.
Now, what did you wind up doing around the Smokies?
We ended up scooting around. I've actually hiked the Smokies before when I was younger. And, it doesn't really count now, but I'm not upset.
Yeah.
Now the same thing with the Shenandoah Mountains. I've also hiked those, and I'm actually considering.
Can you not go through with moose?
Shenandoah? You can.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But what I'm considering, you can do one of two things. From my understanding, is you can actually still hike, or you can aqua blaze.
Right.
So I'm thinking about aqua blazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not the purest way of doing it, but I don't want to be shuttled around anymore. It was bad enough that we had to do the Smokies. I wish we could have gone, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's the way I feel about the Shenandoahs. Like the Shenandoahs are, as a park, they're beautiful, but the trail is up a mountain, down a mountain, cross a road, up a mountain, down a mountain, cross a road. But yeah, I've met a lot of people that did the aqua blaze thing, and that sounds like it'd be fun.
I think it would be. I mean, hell, look how much body work you're doing with your lower part, and then you need something for the top part.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not the purest way they're doing it, but whatever.
Somebody wearing one of our shirts.
Yeah. I've been telling everybody I was like, I can't wait to get over to Pox and Puss. They're like, what the hell is that? I'm like, dude, it's a podcast. You got to listen to these guys.
It's like internet on the radio.
I'm like, they're former Thru-Hikers, but going into it easy because it's not for kids.
No. And you know who we had on first this morning? Chipmunk.
Oh, you got Chipmunk. I was actually going to say something about it. I think it's phenomenal what she's doing.
Hey, it is. We were like, okay, first off, granted it was like 9:30. So I hadn't started drinking yet. I was like, okay, we're going to interview a 14-year-old girl. I don't need to drink first.
Right.
And then it was like, that's a bunch of stuff. Like trying not to say bullshit and all this other stuff. And it was kind of like, oh, we got a 14-year-old here. I've got to behave myself.
Right.
But she was cool. And God, that girl's already hiked 3,800 miles around the United States.
Yeah.
And she's awesome.
Yeah, she's doing a phenomenal. I haven't really talked. I talked to her a little bit here and there, but it wasn't much. But I told her what she's doing is inspirational, man. Come on, that's for any kid.
Yeah.
That to be that age and be able to be supported like she's being supported. That's.
Now you have two boys.
I do. I have my oldest is Dylan, who's man, I can't believe he's 15.
Wow.
And then I have my little guy, Austin, who's just turned 8 now.
Nice.
Great kids, man.
Yeah.
I know we got a hell of a time coming at us because they were spitting image of me when I was a kid. Good Lord.
Yeah, you talk a lot about them in your posts. That's the only reason I bring it up. You talk about them in your posts, and I haven't had a chance to watch as many of your videos as I want to. But did you ever watch FM on the AT?
I did. I got through a lot of his actually, and I think he did a great job. I was kind of hoping that he was going to be able to do the PCT. And,
Or was he going to try and do it this past year?
He said something in it. I guess he went back to do the Harper's Ferry or something one video and said, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then while I was out here, someone said no, he canceled out when he was.
Yeah.
So I think he did a great job. I mean, man, he had me addicted to it.
Oh yeah, I mean those video. You think that a video podcast? Hey Jack, you think that a video podcast or video, along the way, it's kind of like, I don't know. For me, it makes me jealous.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just love that, just to be able to connect with you. Are you raising money for anything in particular, or just awareness?
Just awareness. We do have people that have been donating to us, and man, that's a big deal, and it's helping us out so much. Yeah, I'm so grateful for that. That wasn't the route that I was trying to go. I was trying to get sponsors, dog food company, those kind of things. And it just kind of took a different turn, and they backed out and never told me why. I'm just assuming it's because.
Yeah.
But, I have some of the most amazing followers and people that are believing in and behind us 100%, and they're just trying to make sure that we get to the point where we need to be. So.
Well, I saw that one time, like whenever you were sick, like your group of friends bought you a room for the night, and that was really cool.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal, man, and.
Yeah,
It's almost a tearjerker. It really is, because I didn't think this was going to be the way it is.
Well, you think about, like, I don't know if you've been in MoJoe's cafe yet, but like, by the bathroom door, there's like all the pictures of people that have done it in the past, and it really does come down to me. Like, I would not have been able to do it had it not been for my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I mean, they back when I did it, everybody was doing mail drops, everybody was doing that kind of thing, and and at one point in time, it was like, I'm going to have to live in y'all's house or get over my debt when I'm done with this. I was 21, so I didn't really have a lot of responsibility. So, but yeah, so it really is all those people that help you out, and it makes such a big difference about it.
It really, really does. I mean, it keeps me motivated. I think about my kids while I'm out on the trail, and that's the two number one things that keep me motivated. And then to know that all these people are not even if they don't even have to donate. It's just the fact that they're following us on this journey.
Yeah.
And they get to experience it through our eyes, through the internet, even though they can't be here, and they're loving it.
Yeah.
You know, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt that you have a cute dog.
He is he's a pretty handsome boy, you know, and he's made lots of friends and lots of guy friends.
Oh yeah.
Which I kind of find a little weird.
Well, you know, hey,
I don't think my dog should be doing that, but hey.
Well, I mean, I saw you were talking about the pictures you have of him with kids and stuff. There was one at was it Goose Creek cabins where like he's like in somebody's lap, like up in his chest, having like licking them or something like that. I want to say it was an Instagram picture you put up with him.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Sitting in somebody's lap or something like that, just being sweet. Yeah. That's the way. I have some friends. A lot of my friends, or a few of my friends have pit bulls or anything like that, and they're the sweetest dogs in the world.
Oh yeah,
they are the sweetest. It all comes down to who owns them.
It does, and you got to give them a lot of love, and that's any animal, that's any child. You got to give them a lot of love, you know. And you may not be beating your dog, and this is like I always say, you have to look at the situation the dog's in.
Yeah.
You know, yes, 95% of the time it's going to be the owner.
Yeah.
But look at the situation the dog's in. If the dog's in the backyard, you know, and sun all day long with barely any water, or there's kids next door throwing sticks and poking at it, and you don't know what's going on. You have to look at the situation.
What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. The dog's going to jump the fence and bite the hell out of your kid. But he's sounded like Chewbacca. But you know, you just got to give him love, and you do that, and it says a lot. He's probably the most time I've ever put in any dog, like training wise, and just trying to get ready for it. I just wanted to make sure that he was 100% to do this. And I know I was going to be okay, but I got to think about his safety too. And, but yeah, it's been phenomenal, man.
What's the craziest trail name you've heard so far? We're asking everybody that question.
Giggle Fritz. He's around here somewhere.
Giggle Fritz.
Oh my dude, he's a character. Let me see if I can see. I did see him while we were talking. Giggle Fritz. He's not
the guy in the vest over there, is he?
No, but he would wear stuff like that. His girlfriend's got braids in her hair.
Like dreadlocks?
Yeah.
There's a dreadlock. Does he have dreadlocks?
No, he's got dark hair. He kind of looks like a Unabomber type.
They pretty much all white dudes with beards.
Oh, wait a second. That's pretty much all of us.
Yeah. White dudes with beards every fucking way.
Yep. That's probably he's a cool cat too, man. He's hilarious.
Giggle Fritz.
I think he's from Maine as well.
Do you know how he got the name?
I have no idea. But once you meet him, you'll probably that's how you got your name. He's actually in the same tent city where we're at, and that's how I met all those guys. They're really cool guys. One guy's Thunderfoot, and this dude's like 6'6". They're all like a bunch of big guys. He's like
6'6". Dude, that's an outfit right there.
What's
you see to your left, just through Captain Griever here.
Oh yeah, the leotard girl.
The blue leotard. Wow.
Yeah, there's definitely, I've seen not a whole lot of interesting costumes, but there are some costumes out here.
Yes, there are. Hey, how you doing? I don't know if that's a joint or a cigarette. I don't care. That's a cigarette. You can smell it now. But, man, I'm going to let you get going here because I think we've got somebody else lining up to say something. But
outstanding.
Ben, it was awesome meeting you.
Fox, it was mine.
Absolutely. I'm going to wash the shit out of this hand because of
yeah. I mean, I was scratching my balls and wiping my ass.
Well, you don't know where this one's been either. I'm just playing. Dude, it was nice.
Sure it's been in a lot cleaner places than mine.
I'm really glad you made it this far, and I know you're going to do just fine. I know you're going to finish, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Keep spreading the word. Thank you, sir.
All right, like I said, interesting dude, great message, and really hope everything goes well for him. I saw Whitey right after the accident, and he had to push a friend out of the way, and again, like we said, general chaos. But yeah, so he was a little uncertain what he was going to do after that. But then he decided, as he said, he's put his big boy pants on, and he's going to finish it up. Really happy for that. Okay, let's end it on a goofy one. Giggle Fitz.
Hello.
There you go. All right, so sitting here with the aforementioned Giggle Fritz, we had to have
Fitz.
Giggle Fitz.
Giggle Fitz.
Like you've had fits of giggling.
It's happened a time or two.
How did you get your name?
I didn't have a name for a while, and then someone gave it to me.
That's some bullshit, dude. You just caught the fits of giggling?
Sometimes. I mean, it's a rough life we all live out here.
Yeah, yeah.
We have to walk every day, and that's
it's a hell of a job. It's a hell of a job. I did it in 1998.
Did you?
Yeah. And Puss, the other girl I do the show with, she did it in 2009. So
Okay.
Yeah. So when did you start?
March 11th.
Nice. I started March 7th on my end. Yeah, you liked it so far?
It's great. Having a great time.
Where are you from?
Maine. Vassarboro, Maine.
Fuck yeah, dude. I've met 3 people from Maine already.
Yeah. Just bought a one-way bus ticket and
fucking walk home.
That's the plan.
I met a guy at Mountain Crossings. He had hikes from...
Quiet down, please.
He had hiked... this is his 5th time. He hiked from Maine to Georgia, got to Georgia, and was like, "Man, I'm gonna hang out here for 2 months, work some shitty job," and now he's hiking home to Maine.
Nice.
He's like, "Yeah." But how'd you meet Whitey? Tent City?
Yeah, just met him last night, and of course now we're best friends. Same way ends up with all these wonderful people.
Did you just meet everybody last night?
No, we met hiking. That's my girlfriend over there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's convenient.
And we met that guy in
the guy in the dress.
Yeah, the tie-dye dress.
Guy in the tie-dye dress.
For those of you in radio land.
Drinking a Dr. Enough.
Oh.
I don't know what that was.
Me neither.
Well, man, I don't want to keep you Giggle Fitz, man. It was nice meeting you.
So good to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good rest of the time, man. I'll see you in the parade.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
All right, like I said, keeping it light with Giggle Fitz. Some of you probably noticed a lack of Puss in the last half of the podcast. She got just overwhelmed with people that wanted to buy shirts, get the buttons from us, get information about the podcast. So she did a great job of promoting us. Trust me, you'd rather have her face out there than mine. Anyway, you can always find us on Facebook. Just look for Pox and Puss. Our Instagram is at Pox and Puss. Our Twitter is, guess what, at Pox and Puss. Haven't touched our Pinterest in 6 months now. Yeah. Oh, and hey, guess what? We have a real website now, poxandpuss.com. Still kind of fiddling around with it, but it has our awesome dinosaur logo. And yeah, the company that helped us put it together, they're called the Website Guys. And man, they made it so easy for us. But anyway, yeah, check that out, Pox and Puss. If you go to content and episode guide, that's the way you can get to all of our podcasts, or you can just go to iTunes. We would love, 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 love to have some more 5-star reviews. Yeah, please. Anything helps. Also, if you subscribe to us, that helps us get us up there. Knock people like John Eats Carrots and those other people out of the way. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this longer than normal version of the Pox and Puss podcast. And also, remember, next week we're going to be taking a much-deserved break. And then we'll be right back at it the following week, okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for people
I'll beep
recreationally using...
I'll beep them out.
Yeah. Rip them.